So today we're going to be taking a look at the Lego Fortnite Battle Bus set. As you know, on this channel I mainly collect action figures, but recently I've been wanting to get into Lego. I wanted to start buying some Lego sets, so here we are. Let's not waste any time and let's get right into it. So right on front you could see the very nice and large battle bus with some minifigures inside already. You could see Peely and Jonesy. And then of course on the side you get all your information about this set. It is 10 and up and it is set 77073. And of course this set does have 954 pieces. And then on the bottom you could see all the minifigures as well as their name. Moving on to the back, you could see of course Lego Fortnite as well as the set number and some of the features of the bus itself, such as you could take off the roof, you could have the figures jumping from the bus itself, you could fit all the minifigures in them, as well as some swappable options for figures like Drift. Let's go ahead and open up the Fortnite Battle Bus set. Once you open up the box, the very first thing you're going to get is going to be your paper bag with your instructions manual. I'll go ahead and open this up and show you. And of course you get all the bags containing all the Legos. So here's bag 1, bag 2, bag 3, bag 4, bag 5, bag 6, bag 7, bag 8, and finally your unnumbered bag, but this bag does have the balloon pieces for the top of the bus. So now let's get to building. Fortnite Battle Bus fully put together, and I absolutely love this build. It may just be the fact that this is my first Lego set, but it was just so fun to see all of the details of the set come together to build this larger battle bus. Of course, there are so many little hidden details that we'll touch on in a bit, but overall I absolutely loved it. There were one or two problems that I had while building it, which I will touch upon, but overall, great set. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with my two problems that I had with this set because they are very minor and the rest of the set is great. So I just want to get over the two problems I did have, and that is with the stickers. Now, overall, there aren't too many stickers that are used here, and the stickers that are there are pretty simple to put on, but my problem is with the V-Buck sticker right here. My issue is that I put it on prior to actually putting the piece onto this whole structure up here for the flame. And when I did that, the V-Buck is a bit crooked. The other side, I do believe, is a bit worse than this one. But it is just a small problem that I wish would have been addressed in the instructions, so you kind of know not to mess it up like that. I even tried to take it off, but it just would have damaged the whole sticker. So I left it the way it is. But just be aware that before you put on this V-Buck piece, make sure that you attach the Lego piece onto the structure and then put the sticker on top of that so you don't have any mistakes. But other than that, the other stickers were great and the set looks amazing. So now let's get into the detail. So right on front is probably the most detail you'll see in this set. Of course, you have the battle bus, and you can see I have a couple figures inside of there already. but you have the battle bus right here, and then you get this really nice long pipe, which is of course from Fortnite. And then you have the headlights up here and the lights right here. And what's really cool about this set is I feel like you could really just use this as a standard bus. Even if you don't like Fortnite, you definitely can do that, and it's so much fun, and it's so cool that they did that. This set is just very nicely detailed. Of course, you have your mirrors right here, and then another cool little detail is you actually have an entire engine right there. Sorry, the lighting is a bit dark, but you could see you do get a whole engine, and you do get the hood. So you could take that on and off for however you want to display your Lego set, and it does just click right back in. On the side, of course, you have these little pieces which are in the game, of course, to keep the balloon on. You have your little doors here that can open. It is a bit difficult to open them, but once you do, there you go. Then you have all of the windows. You have some more lights all around. The wheels look great. Of course, on the back, you get some more lights right there. Battle bus. It's just some really great detail all around this set. And then on the bottom, now this is something that is a bit of a concern. I don't think it's a problem though, you should just be aware of it, is that the top is only connected by these 4 studs. And of course that's to easily take it off and on to put all the minifigures inside. But you just want to be careful when you're holding the bus. Make sure you hold it by both the top and bottom to keep everything together, because the weight of the balloon is of course very heavy. Now, as I was saying, on the bottom, you could see, of course, there isn't really any like engine detail on the bottom. I don't expect that because, I mean, you know, that's a lot of intricate detail, and this set would have cost probably like 200 bucks. But of course, under here, it's just all the studs. Of course, you see your wheels. And yeah, so the outer detail of just the bus itself, not even talking about the balloon, is absolutely great. And as I said, if you want to use this as just a bus, go ahead, you definitely can. But now moving on to the top of the bus, which is of course the balloon. You do have stickers inside here to have little kind of buttons. Sorry, the camera's not really focusing, but you have little buttons in there, which is pretty cool. And then of course you have your little dish panel. Forgot what this is called, but you have this right here. And of course you have like a little balloon with a propeller, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, up top, you get your nice big balloon, which I love. They did it amazing. And the fire underneath is really nicely done. It really has that nice translucent blue effect, which is just really good, really cool. So overall, the outer detail of this bus is absolutely amazing. Sorry for the camera shake. But the bus just is amazing. I love all the detail that it has. But now let's take a look at the inside of the bus. So as you saw before, the top of the bus does just remove super easy, so you could just take it off right over there. And then on the inside, you have all of your interior. So I do have a bunch of minifigures in there already, and I will be taking them out to show you all of them in detail. But you do have 9 seats, so you can put them all there. And the reason I have Peely and Meowscles standing on the side is because Meowscles, if you want him to sit down, you do need to take off his tail. And Peely, while he can sit, you do have to push him back because of the large sculpt. So just be aware of that. They do all fit, but you will have to kind of modify how they're sitting and how they're built if you want them to sit properly. But looking at the front, you can see, of course, you have your driver's seat in there. And I'm sorry for the lighting. It's hard to get lighting inside of this bus, but there are stickers in there. And of course, let me just take Jonesy out. You have your steering wheel, and there is a little printed plate inside there, so you could have some detail there. And then, as I mentioned before, you have all of your seats. So, of course, the interior isn't crazy other than the driver's seat, but I'm happy that you could actually fit all the minifigures and you're not just left with minifigures standing on the side. So, really cool, lots of options for display. And then, as you can see right here, you can kind of see all the minifigures through the windows. So, that's a really nice little detail. Love that they did that. But now, let me take out all of these minifigures and show you them in detail. So let's get started with Adventure Peely. He does have leg printing, no arm printing, but you do get that really nice upper sculpt. And then if you take it off, the actual like upper piece has no printing on it. So it is mainly just the top, but again, amazing detail. The next minifigure is going to be Jonesy, which is pretty cool. Of course, it is just Jonesy, so he looks just like every other guy, but you do get leg and arm printing, of course, printing on the torso. And then his head, I do believe, has two different faces. So you could take off the hair, turn it around, and then you get this face, which is pretty cool. Nice little Jonesy figure. The next minifigure is going to be Bright Bomber, which is pretty cool. Love all the detail on her. No arm printing again, but she also does have a swappable face, which is this one with her glasses on, which is really cool. And I love that they have that attention to detail since she does have glasses in the game, and it's just really nice. The next minifigure is going to be Cuddle Team Leader, which of course looks really nice. That head sculpt for the Cuddle Team Leader looks really nice. She has leg printing and no arm printing, but it does look really cool. Then of course you can take off that head sculpt and then you have a face underneath, which you can turn around for another face, and she does come with a hair piece. So if you want to display her with her hair, there you go. The next minifigure is going to be Drift, which is really cool. Probably one of my favorite. I love this character in game. Sadly, I don't have this. I started playing in Season 4, but I never bought the Battle Pass until Season 7. But this guy is just such a cool skin in game, and I love this minifigure. And then you can go ahead and take off the top of the head, and then you get this masked head, nothing on the back. But you do get a hairpiece, which is perfect. And then you have that other style of Drift, which is just awesome. The next minifigure you're going to get is going to be Meowscles, which already looks really cool. Of course, he does look a little disproportionate because in-game he is so large. His head is a little small in the minifigure, but that's okay in my opinion. I just love how cool these guys look. He has so much detail. He does have arm printing on this arm and leg printing as well. And then of course you have his tail, which is a separate piece when you're building him. And as I mentioned before, this is where it's a bit difficult to put him in the seat in the bus. You are gonna have to take this off if you want to sit him down, but overall, really cool. The next figure is going to be the Trespasser Elite. Probably one of the more unknown characters in Fortnite. I honestly forgot this skin existed, but it's still a little cool minifigure. It's like an alien, I think. And then he has the cube underneath, or like a cube faceplate underneath. So pretty cool build, of course. No arm printing, but there is leg printing. I don't know this guy, honestly, but it's still a really cool little minifigure. The next minifigure is going to be the Cube Assassin, which is another lesser known character, but I actually do know this one because I own the skin in game. I do believe it was a part of the Fortnite crew, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a really cool little build. You have, of course, the hood, and there's a faceplate underneath. There is no arm printing, but there is leg printing, which is pretty cool. And another really cool character. And the final minifigure you're going to get, probably a fan favorite. This guy, Bright Bomber, and Peely maybe, and also maybe Cuddle Team Leader are probably the bigger known names in this set. But of course here is Raven, and it is just really cool to have this guy in minifigure form. I love that they chose him because, again, he's just so cool. You do not have arm printing, but you do have leg printing. And again, the detail on these guys is just awesome. It's like they're straight from the game. So really nice. The 9 minifigures also do come with little accessories. So the first set you're going to get are going to be these little pickaxes. You do get a set of 4, which is pretty cool. The next accessories you're going to get are these cool little builds for grapplers, which are really nice. And I love that they are straight from the game. They're literally from the Lego Fortnite game, which I absolutely love. Really nice. The next set of accessories are going to be these shield potion jars, or big pots, whatever you call them. Really nice here. I'm not even sure if that's what they do in Lego Fortnite, but still cool little accessories. And the final accessory is going to be this little potion, which I do believe is a slap juice. I might be mistaken. I haven't played Lego Fortnite in a bit. I've played Fortnite, but not Lego Fortnite, so I got to see what it is. But still, it's cool that they included this. And that is all the accessories. So now let's move on to my final thoughts. Real quick before I go ahead and give you my final thoughts, I just wanted to let you know that this set does include some extra parts. So if you have some extra things laying around, don't worry, you didn't miss a step. There are some extra pieces included. But now let's move on to my final thoughts. So what do I think about the Lego Fortnite Battle Bus set from Lego? This set definitely is one to buy. I believe it retails for about $100, and for that amount, I definitely do think that it's worth it. You get 9 minifigures and this really nice bust build, and even if you're not a Fortnite fan, if you remove all the Fortnite-esque pieces, you can have just a solid bust build in Lego, which is amazing. And I just had so much fun building it and just setting it up like this for my final thoughts, posing the minifigures, and just having like a whole little scene is just so much fun. And I love this set. So I definitely recommend it for anyone who wants this set. If you already have it, let me know down in the comments what you think about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.